Hi, friends, and welcome to another episode on What's Up Wonderland. Today, we get to take a walk down memory lane and chat everything EPCOT. What was, what is, and what's to come.
I know I say this with each segment, but I really mean it. I'm so excited to get into this conversation. EPCOT is such a great park for many different reasons.
So true. When you visit EPCOT, you get this mix of cultural experiences. There's also innovative attractions, those festivals there, great food and drinks, and of course that, super unique EPCOT atmosphere.
These factors, along with its blend of future, nature, and culture, make EPCOT a favorite park for many Disney fans. EPCOT originally opened in 1982 as experimental prototype community of tomorrow. It was envisioned by Walt Disney as a futuristic city combining innovation, technology, and global culture.
Right. So its original vision has evolved into a incoming theme park, right, that we see today, divided into two main sections. You've got Future World, which is focused on, the science, technology, and space.
Yes.
And then the World Showcase, which celebrates that international unity. And so what I remember of EPCOT long ago, right, the OG Figment ride.
Yeah.
We lost the classic attraction as we knew and loved back in 1998. At that time, it was reimagined into Journey into Your Imagination, which lasted briefly. It ran, just a couple years until it was transformed again. And that's what we see today. Journey into Imagination with Figment, the current attraction. And so sad to say, the classic ride is only a shell, I think, of its former self that I grew up with.
Yeah, I do feel that we lost such a lively attraction it once was, and the narrative now is just so simple.
Indeed.
Some of the past favorites to recall, surprisingly, Universe of Energy, which I loved as a kid. It was, even though it was like such a relaxing ride, like as a kid, I thoroughly enjoyed it because it was incredibly long. It took a large chunk of time out of your day, but you didn't feel that way. And it was such a commitment that I was willing to make.
Exactly.
But of course, that's no longer there. And we were rewarded with something equally, if not more awesome, honestly, is Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind, which opened in May of 2022. And those song choices, oh man, you never know where you're going to get, but I thoroughly enjoy them. And the former Wonders of Life Pavilion, do you remember that, Bree?
I do. I remember this one very well, actually.
Yeah, it was a bit more polarizing than some of the other universally adored attractions that we're obviously talking about. But it opened in 1989 and closed in 2007 without any explanation from Disney. Wonders of Life also featured an animatronic show about the human brain and emotions called Cranium Command, and a short film about the conception of The Making of Me, starring Martin Short.
We all remember that movie. Did you get to see that growing up?
Yeah. Yes.
I think every Disney kid had to go through that one.
For sure. And all in all, Martin Short has a special place in my heart regardless. We also remember being dragged onto Body Wars. Do you remember Body Wars as well?
Yep, super iconic. Oh, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. It was a motion simulator, a ride similar to Star Tours. Body Wars takes you on such a fast-paced journey through the human body to rescue Dr. Cynthia Lair, who studied white blood cells response to a splinter, if I recall correctly. But she got stuck in a capillary, and it's up to you to chase after her while, your power slowly draining away. I thought it was a pretty cool concept for a ride, honestly.
Absolutely. Do you also remember the original fountains that stood where the Imagination Gardens is currently?
Oh, yeah.
I really miss them. They helped keep that area cool.
Yeah.
And now it feels like the space in front of Dreamers Point gets so hot with all that sun exposure.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not forget the original Club Cool location where you walked into a misty igloo. It was such a fun entranceway. I really miss that. If you remember the Jeweled Dragon Acrobats too.
Yeah.
And
Mm-hmm.
so their performances really, really cool. So the groups, their vibrant costumes and the routines, they made them a real fan favorite. A lot of people talked about their performances in China. Unfortunately, they did retire in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Something to do with pandemic, travel, their contract. But the show was one of several acts in that pavilion that celebrated Chinese culture.
Mulan!
Today, EPCOT continues to highlight that innovation and global exploration as its core purpose. The park has undergone significant transformations, and we have seen a lot of change. The park embraced modern attractions like what we previously mentioned. I want to talk about World Celebration. World Celebration is truly spectacular because you have different parts of it to enjoy. You have, for example, Spaceship Earth. It's the iconic Spaceship Earth that you see or you think of when you talk about EPCOT.
Oh, yeah. Front and center right there.
Front and center. It's 18 stories tall. It's a geodesic sphere located in front of entrance of EPCOT. And there's a ride inside that actually tells the story of communication with a focus on the development of cultures and the futures of technology. And of course, we have our lovely Figment in World Celebration with Journey into the Imagination with Figment. It's a ride that encourages guests to use their senses and their imagination.
This is not a good time.
It's always a good time to use your imagination, so let the good times roll! Woo! You win one cent!
We also have the wonderful Disney and Pixar Short Film Festival. That's a 3D show composed of 3 animated shorts. I think this is one of my favorite new locations at World Celebration is Dreamers Point. It accessed from Spaceship Earth with, it's discovering live entertainment as the Communicore Plaza. And you see different festival experiences throughout the year at the Communicore Hall. You have the Lush Gardens as World Celebration Gardens. Showcases a beautiful statue of Walt Disney and as the Dreamer, and you could take beautiful photo ops with him. It's so cool.
Oh, it's a great spot. I love that tribute to Walt right there. Continuing through the park, there is World Discovery. And in World Discovery, you have Mission Space, which is a centrifuge-based ride that simulates the training required to be a member of the space program.
Yeah, I told you, there's different missions. You have your orange and your green.
Right.
Orange is more intense than the green one, but at the end of the day, it was designed by actual NASA engineers, astronauts, all that stuff. So it's no joke. It's no joke.
They know what they're doing.
Disengaged. Displaying responsiveness data.
And then just next door is Test Track, right? Presented by Chevrolet, is a high-speed ride that allows guests to design their own concept vehicles, and then you get to test them on the sim track as you ride along in a sim car. Another, classic. It's been around for a while. The newest addition there, we have Wonders of Xandar, which is a new pavilion. Oh, it's not really new, it's just updated, right?
Mhm.
And it contains the first Otherworld showcase based on Guardians of the Galaxy series. And so the Cosmic Rewind is a roller coaster inspired by Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy. And it's another one of those you've got to try to experience.
Oh,
I mean, it's so unique and one of a kind.
Yeah, and I feel like they just recently got rid of the virtual queues. You can still buy individual lightning lanes for that ride, but I feel like it gives more people the chance if they missed the time to get a spot in the virtual queue. More people have the opportunity now. So I definitely highly recommend, if you can handle roller coasters, this is the one to try.
All the way.
Oh, Christ. Was that the ding dang? The Big Bang! Break time! Yeah!
Right in that same world area, you've got the Jameters, who have been around for a while. They are such a fun percussion group that they use cleaning tools for creativity and this rhythmic performance with a sense of humor on the side. They're fun. They're fun just to kind of break up the, monotony of your rides.
Oh, absolutely. I love them so much. When you're leaving that side of World Celebration, you can actually cross over and go to World Nature. And I think it is so beautiful because it encompasses so much in one building, and it's so amazing. You have the land. It's a pavilion that contains all these attractions and how detailed we can interact with our natural environment. Inside that land pavilion, it's called, there's a show. Oh, Awesome Planet, right? It's Awesome Planet.
Yes.
It's a 4D film about Earth's biomes and the perils of climate change, with the narration of Ty Burrell. I don't know if you've ever seen Modern Family, but he basically is trying to sell you Earth, planet Earth, as his real estate dad, that he is.
Yeah.
But I think it's so cool, that show, because it really helps you realize the effects of climate change for sure. Yeah. And then I think one of my favorites here in this pavilion is the Living with the Land ride. And it takes visitors on a peaceful boat tour throughout a working greenhouse. And you'll see like different types of plants, fruits, vegetables, grain. You see how they're able to bring up fish. At one point, scientists working in the background, trying to work with all the greenhouse, whatever they're doing. I don't know.
Greenhouses are really cool in general, the idea of hydroponics is, this new technology of growing things.
And how they grow them. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's amazing to see what they can do. And sometimes you'll even, go ahead.
We have so much we can pitch in.
I know.
Gonna mention, they actually use the ingredients too in the greenhouse there. EPCOT restaurants, they actually do, use their foods and herbs in the Living with the Land greenhouse, and they use that with their dishes throughout the park.
I think that's so cool. You see it literally go from plant to table. It's so cool. In that same pavilion is Soarin'. It's can glider simulator that flies over a variety of scenes. And the primary version of the attraction is Soarin' Around the World, which debuted in 2016, I believe. And the original version of Soarin' over California is presented on just a seasonal basis.
Right.
I love this next part of the land world of nature area, and it's the seas. It's not in the land pavilion itself, but it's right next door in still world nature. And the seas is actually one of the largest aquariums in the world. Yeah. You can see different animals, man. It is so cool. Obviously, one of my favorites is the manatees, Florida manatees all the way. Love them. They're so precious little water elephants,
They're
and
so
I
sweet.
adore them. I
They're
love
so
them.
calm
They really are, honestly, but they're
and
just so
chill.
cute.
Mhm.
But there's also the Seas with Nemo and Friends, which is right there, and it's a ride that chronologically like takes you through Nemo's epic journey, and you see the projection technology that makes it really appear like Nemo and Dory and Marlin are swimming through the live fish in the aquarium. I think that is so cool, like so innovative. It is such a good and catchy song. I have it stuck in my head all the time. All the time. I remember too, there's also a clip that's on our Wonderland Way where I actually got stuck and got evacuated from this ride.
Yeah.
And just to see everything with the lights on, as far as like how like innovative they are with the engineering of certain fish and all that stuff,
Right.
I'm like, that's pretty cool. That's iconic.
Yeah.
I got my own behind the,
Scenes tour.
tour
Yeah.
of this. Yeah.
Isn't
Super
it cool?
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
they did a really good job. And of course, I haven't done this personally, this next thing, but I know plenty of people that have, and I've seen clips of it. But Turtle Talk with Crush is an interactive show starring Crush, the sea turtle from Disney Pixar's Finding Nemo and Finding Dory. Sadly, I haven't experienced it. Have you, Bree? Have you been able
Yeah.
to do it? Yeah.
It's adorable, and they do really well of incorporating the audience. So it's really interactive, and the humor, the improv. It's a fantastic show. If you have a chance, it's another one of those, AC'd environments that you could kind of spend your time in, take a break from the sun. I wouldn't say you're missing anything if you can't make it to
Sure.
Turtle Talk. But if you're there in the seas and the next showing's in another 5 minutes, go ahead and jump in. Jokes that might be thrown out there that go over kids' heads, and it's more, adult, like, what? You're right? Moments. But
I think, honestly, one of the highlights of this World Nature, Journey of Water is literally a water walkthrough attraction, so you don't have to wait. There's no long queue, nothing. It's literally a walkthrough, beautiful experience inspired by Disney's animated feature film Moana.
and so for the grand tour,
Yeah.
let's explore World Showcase, right?
Mhm.
And I usually like to begin with Canada, but for the sake of our map, we're going to begin with Mexico, because that's usually everybody wants to start in Mexico.
Yeah.
So, in my opinion, Mexico is, it's a really cool pavilion. Again, it's another perfect place to take a break from the Florida sun. You can go inside the pavilion there. And it's beautiful. It's a little Mexican city. Lots to do and see right there in Mexico.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And right there, we do have, in the same pavilion, we have the Grand Fiesta Tour, right?
Mhm.
Starring, I might butcher this, the three caballeros.
Yeah, you did good.
Yeah, something like that. Right next to Mexico, we're going to travel to Norway.
Mhm.
And Norway is famous for the Frozen Ever After, which is another boat ride. One thing to note is in the Kringla bakery there, they do serve a school bread. The school bread there, I do recommend trying if you can. Norway's school bread is a beloved pastry inspired by the traditional Norwegian flavors with that Disney presentation. Moving on down the map, we have China. Okay. And inside China, it is just a beautiful pavilion, even just to look around and see the cultural influences there in that pavilion. And inside that big dome in the center there is the Circle Vision 360. where you could catch a show called Reflections of China.
Also love, there's like this small little African themed area that's like right after China, and it's an unofficial World Showcase pavilion, but it's been there for a long time, and it not an official pavilion in World Showcase, but it's called the Outpost, and it's a small African themed area. And I think, pass on by, you're gonna walk by it anyway, just take a little glance.
They also have like, it's very small, but like a sound garden,
Yeah,
you can
you're
play on the
right.
drums. Yeah, so it's small, but it is interactive. You could stop and do some things that all reflect, Africa.
And the next one is one of my favorites. It's Germany. To put this for every pavilion, they're going to have people from that,
Yes.
culture, that land and everything, native speakers. So like I like to, even though I sound like probably like a 5-year-old, learning a language, but I like to go into the Germany pavilion and like try to speak with them and everything, to like order, like it's a little challenge for myself. Like I'm going to order some food and everything. But it's so, their food, even though people think, oh, bratwurst or, bread, some of the day, like it's
Bread goes
delicious.
a long way.
Bread goes a long way. You can't go by Germany without seeing that model train display. It's a small model train, but we know Walt loved trains. You have to talk about the iconic Italy pavilion. Let's talk about that.
Yep.
I know it's so beautiful. I've had friends that even got, engaged in that pavilion because
Really?
it is so beautiful. There's like that, you'll see in the center of that pavilion is like that little stage and everything.
Yes.
People can walk on that stage and everything when it's not being used.
Each of these pavilions, honestly, you feel like you're immersed in what you would experience abroad, right? I mean,
Yes.
these pavilions they're all really, fantastically designed.
Yeah, they do a beautiful job. And I talk about like that area, there's actually live entertainment, Sergio the Juggler.
Yeah.
And Sergio is this Italian juggler and mime. If you get a chance to see it, go see it.
Yeah, he does so well at mixing his juggling talents, right, with a comedic flair.
Yeah.
It really, it's funny because you're not the only one laughing. The whole crowd ends up cheering and laughing. I mean, he does such a great job. There's a reason why he's there, right? So it's worth a good laugh to stay and see Sergio if you can catch him. And then moving on down our map, we've got our next stop is the American Adventure. And the American Adventure is a stage show you could catch, and it's all about American history. They use audio animatronics. You can find it all located inside the Liberty Theater. And right there, you also have Voices of Liberty. And it's a cappella choir, and they sing traditional American songs. Another good place to escape the heat and enjoy some short entertainment.
Yes, for sure.
And moving on, we have Japan. A really fun pavilion there. You can experience the resonating beats of taiko drums. And so it's an ancient Japanese drumming tradition. Okay. It does have roots to religious ceremonies, festivals, even battles. You can hear these drums from the pavilion over. I mean, they're loud, it's all choreographed. It's fantastic. It's an excellent way to get yourself immersed into that Japanese culture with these drums. Moving on down, we have Morocco. Oh my goodness, you can find such authentic souvenirs found at Tangier Traders. You've got the Brass Bazaar there and the Casablanca carpets, of course. Items like brass, cookware, carpets, sheepskin, rugs, blankets, hots. I mean, you name it, you can find it, right?
for sure. And hidden away in there, there's like this cute little photo op spot where it's like all tiles, but it's like the classic Moroccan tile. I
With the
forget what-
fountain.
yes, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah,
I
it's away from the crowd, but at the same time, like if you want like a truly like immersive photo with like not much people around, I feel like that's the place to go. France, though, can we talk about France? It's so beautiful. Oh my
It is,
goodness.
and it's big. There's a lot to do in France.
Oh yeah, yeah. They knew what they were doing. There's different restaurants, snack spots, booths. There's entertainment. Speaking of entertainment, there's the Sing Along, and it's the film, of course, Beauty and the Beast, and it's based on reliving the songs from the classic movie, and you get to see it from LeFou's point of view, which I think is pretty cool. But of course, we cannot talk about France without talking about Remy's Ratatouille adventure. It's a 5-minute ride where you experience the story from a rat's perspective, navigating through Gusteau's Paris, a restaurant, working alongside top chefs. But of course, if you go over the little bridge on the map, you will find next door the United Kingdom. And this UK pavilion is spectacular in itself because you have a couple different meet and greets here. And you also have the iconic British rock band playing its hits from the 60s to the early 90s. Tucked away in the back of the UK pavilion, you go to Christopher Robin's room and you get to have that beautiful experience with the Winnie the Pooh. I think it's so sweet. Last but not least, our beloved Canada. Canada has a beautiful 360 circle vision film that's called Canada Far and Wide, and it explores all the beautiful pieces of, Canada itself. There is this band here, and talk about if you had a tongue twister earlier. I hope I don't butcher this up. I am so sorry. Bod Hockton.
Okay, I like it.
They take over the stage in that Great White North area of the Canadian Pavilion, and they have a fusion of Celtic, punk, Irish folk, Breton, and maritime influences. Yeah. And their music is so momentous because it has that blend of creativity and excitement.
All right. Do we need to address the amazing fireworks show in World Showcase Lagoon?
Right? I think so. I think so.
All right. Up next, here we go. Luminous, the Symphony of Us. Its premiere night was held December 5th, 2023, and it continues to run presently. And so it is a 17-minute show that features 2 original songs, Heartbeat Symphony and Beating of Our Hearts, along with a fresh arrangement of Disney movie melodies. And so Luminous, the Symphony of Us, it does well to weave together a mesmerizing tapestry of fireworks, fountains, lasers, lighting effects, all synchronized to the soundtrack. And it does well. It serves as a touching reminder, right, that we are united. The global community shares more similarities than we do differences. And so this awe-inspiring showcase, I believe it's a must-see. It really pulls together the EPCOT, the core of EPCOT and what it stands for. So don't miss the opportunity. Immerse yourself in the beauty of Luminous, the Symphony of Us.
we talked a little bit about they have different festivals at EPCOT, and one of them is exploring the International Festival of the Arts. And this, out of all 4 festivals, is my favorite, personally. It's a major EPCOT festival, and it's renowned for, all the beauty and the wonders of, arts in any way, shape, or form. So I want to kind of get into what happened this year for 2025, as it just finished. The EPCOT International Festival of the Arts was held from January 17th all the way to February 24th, 2025, and it celebrated that fusion of visual, culinary, and performing arts. Guests explored all those vibrant colors and art displays, foods, and they enjoyed diverse entertainment, savory artistic culinary creations. I could keep using adjectives. It was amazing. The festival featured different art installations as well, like live performances and specialized food booths offering those artistically presented dishes. It was so immersive, and it provides a unique opportunity to experience this creativity in various different forms throughout the park. One of my favorite things that we do get is obviously the merch. We can't forget about those lovely merches. And of course, Figment is the star icon of Festival of the Arts. It's our iconic purple friend that will be featured everywhere, honestly. And I do believe Disney did a great job this year in comparison to last year and the year before with the merch. Can't talk about a festival without talking about a snack. The Enchanted Rose, and it was a chocolate mousse in the shape of a rose. It was so delicious because it had a filling inside. It was like a fruit tart filling. different options
Right.
regardless of your festival. But for me, those were my highlights for sure.
And so, taking its place, EPCOT jumps into the International Flower and Garden Festival. And it is infamous for its landscaping and its topiaries that reflect lots of Disney films. They're all over the park. Flower and Garden Festival is now blooming, and it will continue to bloom. We got some time here until June 2nd, 2025.
Yeah.
And so some festival highlights include those topiaries, right? I believe there's over 70 Disney character topiaries this year. That's all over EPCOT. But I'm probably most excited to see this garden. It's the new display themed after Inside Out 2. A few more highlights we can mention. Guests can savor a variety of culinary delights, right? Food, right? It's always about food.
Yeah, of course.
Tons of EPCOT, it's got tons of those outdoor kitchens offering dishes inspired by fresh garden ingredients. My favorite go-to each year, it's the Honey Bistro, B-E-E, Bistro, hosted by the National Honey Board. It's always, a go-to for honey-inspired foods and treats, and they have a couple other options there too. Every year, we have the chance to get up and close with the butterflies too. And so, Butterfly Landing, presented by Advent Health, it's coming back, and it's the perfect spot to experience nature's beauty.
For this festival, definitely, if you suffer from allergies, bring your allergy medicine because flowers galore are everywhere. So just keep that in mind, guys.
Yes. Yeah. Good point. Yes, it is true.
Yeah.
You smell them everywhere too. So if you are sensitive, just prepare yourself for that.
Yeah. And of course, if you forget it, there's always going to be a place where you can buy it on property. So don't feel bad. It's okay.
Exactly.
There is actually another part of this festival that I want to talk about. It's the Garden Rocks concert series.
Yes.
Yeah. And this is included with your EPCOT admission, so you don't have to pay an additional fee. So you can enjoy that show-stopping performance from world-renowned artists. Like literally, you can go see the list and you'll see names that are like, you're playing at EPCOT? Like, this is insane. Like, I can't believe it. The concert series already started March 5th, but it's going to run until June 2nd, 2025. So don't feel like you're missing out. You still have some time.
Oh, yeah.
And show times are different. So you can start anywhere from 5:30 p.m., 6:45 p.m., or even 8 p.m. So if you want to snag an early dinner reservation or a late one, you have different options to go about your day and enjoy the concert. This year's festivals definitely promise a vibrant celebration that is showing the blending of horticultural beauty with essence of spring and, of course, that beauty of Disney magic.
And looking ahead, EPCOT is currently reimagining this attraction. We mentioned it earlier, but Test Track.
Yeah.
I know. Test Track once again is going under another refurbishment, which is part of a relaunch It is set for late summer 2025. And this popular attraction, right, known for its high-speed car ride through various simulated testing scenarios, it's getting some updates, and it's going to improve our user experience. So I look forward to that. While details are still pretty limited, the refurbishment does aim to enhance the ride's technology, design, overall immersion, right? Because technology is always changing. But the attraction is expected to return, possibly adding a new storyline.
Did you know you can run marathons in Disney World? Like,
yes.
So much fun. There's different events and exciting things to see, character meet and greets, and it's all hosted by the Walt Disney World Resort. There's actually one happening soon, right, Bree? It's set for April 3rd through 6th of 2025. Be that 2025 surprise weekend.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, it's coming up fast.
Even though if you feel like it's too late to register, because sometimes registrations go really quick, I will say you can easily just go and sign up if you're local. You could sign up to be a volunteer to help, with the racers. You could be a volunteer just to be there to cheer people on. Like, it's such a cool thing to experience. First things first, you definitely need to prepare. I recommend definitely getting there the night before if you can, at least, sleeping there the night before, because you have to be at the park early in the morning, like 4 a.m. sometimes,
Sure.
because you have to run this event. That way they can still open the parks for the public. I definitely recommend it because you get so immersed. They have like I mentioned before, they have literally rare character meet and greets. You can actually meet and greet throughout your run.
So cool.
You have cast members literally cheering you on, and like they're clapping and they're like, rooting for you with signs and all that stuff. And then you have different movie clips. They bring out these big screens and they have like these different like montages, like to keep you motivated and running. So like you are so like mentally like focused on these things that you, like, for me personally, I didn't focus on, oh, my legs hurt, or like, all that stuff. Like, you literally are like so engulfed in this world.
Yeah.
And it's truly spectacular, truly spectacular. And to see Epcot with sunrise, that was pretty amazing too. That was really sweet.
Food will come, Remy.
I mean, come on, guys. Like, we cannot talk about Walt Disney World, let alone Epcot, without talking about food.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
They go hand in hand. They really
do, honestly. And you can dine with many different varieties and locations. So, like we talked about, there are 11 different countries and, different spots in between to choose restaurants, quick service. And so we just have a few to highlight. But do your own research before you go. See what will best fit you and your family. The Garden Grill is in Epcot, of course, and it's a rotating character dining experience in the Land Pavilion. Second, the Coral Reef Restaurant. It's also located at Epcot, and it offers seafood and other dishes with a view of a large aquarium. And of course, the beautiful Mexican Pavilion has the San Angel Inn, and it offers cozy Mexican dining.
Number 4, we have Nine Dragons Restaurant. So it offers a really relaxed setting, all, with classic Chinese decor. Number 5 on the list, we have Chefs de France. It offers classic French dishes inside an elegant bistro setting. And number 6 on our list, another highly recommended restaurant, Space 220.
Mm-hmm.
Space 220 restaurant offers a unique dining experience set in a space station. And so guests launch into orbit, and you get to enjoy views of Earth through large windows. It's just a simulation, but it is simulating the journey to space. 220 miles up exactly is where you're headed. The menu features modern American cuisine dishes. You've got your steak, seafood, and their appetizers. Very creative appetizers, space themed.
Yes.
Right? And so you're enjoying all this creative food inside a futuristic atmosphere that is quite immersive. As we wrap up this segment, there's one thing many Epcot visitors are eager to dive into, right? I'm speaking of drinking around the world.
Yep.
It's definitely a fun experience. No doubt it's highly talked about, right?
Mm-hmm.
And let's be honest, there's a lot of ways to do this responsibly.
Absolutely.
And still have a blast.
Yes.
Right? So let's talk about that. Number one on the list, plan ahead, okay? Make the most of your Epcot visit by arriving early and starting in Canada, okay, to explore the World Showcase effectively. The drinks get heavier as you near Mexico, so you don't want to bloat yourself starting in Mexico, right? You won't make it. I have tried this and I got so full. Space it out. start light in Canada. Okay. And so here's a pro tip. Be sure, as you're planning your schedule here, be sure to plan in bathroom breaks throughout the day.
Yeah.
You're going to need it. And instead of finding yourself flustered because you're rushing to hit a bathroom, especially if you're with a group, just, throw them in every other, pavilion. You save yourself some frustration there.
Oh, absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree with that. And with all that scheduling, pace yourself. Don't feel like you need to rush yourself. If you come up with a good schedule of like what you're going to eat and drink at each one, you'll be able to enjoy it without feeling that you need to indulge in everything. Right. So with that being said, don't feel like you and your spouse or friend need to get a drink on your own. You can share, sharing the drinks to experience more flavors without overindulging. And of course, the key thing is stay hydrated throughout the day. Yeah. And we say stay hydrated for two reasons. Obviously, one, you don't want to get so full of alcohol that you can't even enjoy the rest of your day.
Right. That would be a big bummer.
A big bummer. And two, again, we're going to keep reiterating, Florida heat is there, guys. It's insane. So please, please, please stay hydrated, and at each pavilion booth, they offer free water. They offer a free cup of water. If you forgot to bring your own personal bottle of water, you could buy a bottle of water if you wanted to and just keep refilling it. You're more than welcome to do that. But they offer free cups of water. So don't feel like you have to spend money for water.
Yeah. That water, it's there for a reason.
Yes. So pro tip, every drink, you should have a full cup of water.
Yeah.
Also, keep in mind, eating while drinking around the world helps you pace yourself in EPCOT. It helps you maintain that energy. You have enhanced flavors. And obviously, it keeps the experience fun and balanced because, let's be real, no one wants to be that person stumbling through World Showcase.
Yeah.
Knowing your limit. Obviously, everybody is different. Everybody can handle certain drinks and others can't, but just know that in EPCOT, ensure that you enjoy all the flavors and fun without overdoing it. So keep your time enjoyable for not only yourself, but for everyone around you. So I feel like a pro tip, obviously this is, again, everybody's tolerance is different, but stay away from shots. Especially that Florida heat, shots can hit you really fast, so be careful.
Yes. I highly, highly recommend La Cava's avocado margarita.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So know this, it's not overly done with avocado. Still, it's so incredibly refreshing. It's honestly my favorite drink. And it's a great way to end your drinking tour.
Yeah.
So, back to tip 5. EPCOT is all about exploration. So don't be afraid. Step out of your comfort zone, try new things, even if you don't like avocado, right? Just try it. Try that margarita there in Mexico. You can get a small sample. You don't have to pay for the bigger, the full-size drink. I encourage you just to try it.
When you go to plan for that day, know if you can drive home afterwards. So plan accordingly with that. If you need to Uber to get dropped off there and then Uber to get picked up, driving safe or being safe on the road is the most important. So keep that in mind, especially if you're on Disney property, you already have free transportation there. You don't have to worry about driving your car to the park. Just get on the monorail, the bus, the minivans,
I was going to say.
Yeah, take advantage of those.
The minivan is quite convenient. They sit in front of the park there, and it's just quick access. If you need the minivan, if you overdid it, jump into one of those, you'll get to the right place. Yeah, it'll be okay.
The wilderness must be explored!
You can't talk about a theme park at Walt Disney World without talking about the cool secrets that are at EPCOT. Here's a lineup of just a few fun secrets about EPCOT. Number 1, Club Cool. Club Cool at EPCOT is truly amazing and fun. It's an interactive spot where guests can go and sample a variety of unique sodas from around the world.
Right.
Yeah, it's located in the innovations area, and it's most famous for offering the infamous Beverly soda, which has a wonderful strong bitter taste that often surprises people. Here's me trying Beverly.
It's disgusting. Best way to describe it is it starts out tasting like Sprite, but then it's really quickly just kidding. I taste disgusting. For those who like it, I would really like to know why. Why do you like it? Explain your logic to me, because I don't get it.
Number 2, there is a backdoor secret. It's an incredibly easy access to Epcot.
Mm-hmm.
And so what do I mean by that? Okay, take a look. Take a look. Guests staying at Disney's Boardwalk Inn. On the other side, you've got the Beach and the Yacht Club. Those resorts on the other side, they both have very easy access to Epcot. Okay, these resorts are within quite literally walking distance to Epcot's International Gateway entrance.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's literally located right there in front of the World Showcase.
Yeah.
So guests can take this short scenic walk. You can use the Disney Friendship boats there, which provide, that really nice relaxing water ride.
Sure.
It goes directly to the park, save some time on your feet if you'd like.
Mm-hmm.
It's convenient. You don't need the buses or the monorails to get there.
Yeah. I think that's such a cool tip, because if you want to rope drop Remy, it's right there. So it will save you time essentially from running from the front of the park back there. You literally after that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Getting to World Showcase in general can be a nice walk, right?
Yeah.
But using that backdoor entrance from any one of those resorts, if you plan your trip and you happen to be at that resort, just know you can do that.
And I know we talked multiple times about stuff interactive with the whole family to do. EPCOT fun stops. It allows kids can collect stamps and souvenirs at various EPCOT stations around the World Showcase pavilions. And it's geared towards younger visitors. And it's such a fun, interactive way to explore those beautiful countries.
Yeah. Okay. I've got another confession I'm going to throw out.
Okay.
Nothing crazy.
Okay.
But
Okay.
Just drawing on a personal experience here. Those EPCOT spots, right? These are really cool spots, you guys. Okay?
Yeah.
Here's why. Not only do you get to meet with cast members that are visiting on contract from their home country, but you can learn incredible things from them as well. And so it's really immersive. It comes full circle. Some of these cast members, they'll teach you words in their language. I've learned different greetings. China's EPCOT one year. The cast member there wrote out our names on the postcard.
Oh,
that
that's
you get,
sweet.
right? And so these EPCOTs, they offer great opportunities to further your appreciation for the World Showcase. And so if your family has the time, I do suggest visiting the EPCOTs. You can spend as much time there as you want. You can spend as little time, there as you want. These EPCOTs are in each pavilion. And it's a really, really cool way to collect a personalized souvenir from around the world.
That's awesome. And it's free to do.
Silencio Bruno!
Silencio, Bruno!
And so that wraps up our trip into Epcot.
Yeah, I know.
I know. Disney's parks, it's where innovation meets culture, like we were talking about. So from the iconic, you've got your Spaceship Earth, to the exquisite restaurants within the World Showcase, there's truly something for everyone.
Absolutely. And whether you're just exploring future technologies or immersing yourself in that global tradition in each pavilion, you could see that Epcot offers a really one-of-a-kind experience. And like we mentioned, don't forget those seasonal festivals and the incredible attractions that make the park a fan favorite for everyone year round.
And as summer is drawing near, once again, we want to remind everyone how crucial it is to stay safe. Right?
Yeah.
Plan ahead, pack, all the right things for your visits to the parks.
Yes, absolutely. Great reminder as always. It's always important to stay prepared, especially during the summer crowds and the heat. We'll keep mentioning the heat time and time again. Planning ahead makes Disney World experience so much more enjoyable. So get those water bottles, get those snacks, get those umbrellas.
And so actually in our next episode, Jill and I, we will prepare an outline to help you do just that, right?
Yeah.
To get prepared for summer. Plan ahead, ensuring that your Disney summer days are as enjoyable as possible.
Just found me a tall drink of water.
And so I'd like to announce really, really quickly that your What's Up Wonderland podcast is available on Spotify. So you can find us by simply going to the Spotify app, tap the search bar at the top, search What's Up Wonderland, right? And then you can start listening to any episode right away.
Yes, and don't forget to hit the plus sign button so you never miss a new episode.
Right.
Thank you all time and time again for supporting us in our journey. We can't thank you enough. Thank you so much for joining us today. Everything EPCOT. Until next time, keep exploring and keep that Disney magic alive.